be absolutely dialed on our exposure in order to start these podcasts. So I had to redo the exposure.
The second we're not properly exposed is the day like all of our
reels do bad when we're unexposed.
I mean, they do good because people roast us and like they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you colored this."
It's actually true, bro. Something about having a podcast is if you do it every single week, you are going to get really, really good at color grading because you have to color grade the same kind of type of thing every week. And then you just look back at your old work and you're like, wow, I was not good.
That being said, Court colors all of our stuff. And I was working on like one of our projects last week. And for some reason, I had to like color it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Was not prepared.
Holy
cow. I was like, it was one of the worst things I've ever done.
I spend probably 9 hours a week coloring.
I ended up just sending it to them like in a very flat, like
in a
layout.
flat
And I was like, it'll be
format.
colored in the final. I promise, just to prove the.
There's just a lot that goes into coloring. I'm also learning DaVinci right now for this job that I'm doing, and bro, it is mad hard. I'm actually like right after you leave, I'm gonna be up super late editing on DaVinci. It takes forever. Okay, let's get into. I have some topics for us to hit.
Same.
So I went to Wicked Part 2, gas movie, fire. So. Have you seen the musical?
Okay. I'm just going to like, before we can even address this whole situation, we have to
Okay.
also address something that, because this pod was live when the first Wicked movie came out.
Right. And you got hate for
That's
it.
crazy. Wait,
Yeah.
when was that? A year ago?
That was this year. They came out both this year because they filmed both of them at the same time.
So I
My
made the
posture's
comment
terrible.
that The Greatest Showman and La La Land are both better movies than Wicked.
The Greatest Showman is definitely not. That's just
It is. I will stand by that. They're both better musicals. Both have. I won't say the songs are better because like Wicked's a classic and like the musical is phenomenal, but I don't know. Like,
See, Greatest Showman just hits a cringe note for me that just it doesn't work.
I feel like okay. Here's what I would say. Greatest Showman is like a musical for people that don't like musicals, but I love musicals, so I know I fall into a different segment. But like,
Right.
And Wicked is for like true musicals fans.
See, that's just not true though because well, actually you're right. You're right.
That being said, I am a true musicals fan. I love Phantom of the Opera, one of my favorite movies ever. But I saw Greatest Showman.
The Phantom of the Opera movie? I didn't like the movie.
I mean, it's more of like the nostalgia and like the soundtrack for me, which like is obviously better on Broadway. But I've never seen it on Broadway. Hopefully one day I can.
Yeah. Okay, but let me get into my real hard hitting point right here, and that is the entire movie was shot completely wide open,
I haven't seen it.
which drives me up a wall because there's like so many two shots in the movie, and you could just tell they threw those Panavision primes in 2.8 and then just left it there for the whole movie because even the group shots, one focal point the whole time, and I saw it in XD, so it's a huge screen, and it just drove me up a wall the fact that like, oh cool, I bought this ticket for this massive screen and I can only look at one point in the screen the entire time because it's the only thing that's in focus. And I just feel like if you're going to paint these massive scenes on this massive screen and spend all this money on your set and everything, then you need to just stop down to F8 and let everything be in focus for a couple shots.
Yeah, we had someone who's been on the pod actually comment and respond, and he said he was like saying about that, and he said it's because it's all green screen CGI,
Yes.
so it can be whatever they want.
That's actually true.
Which is true.
Which I will say I really appreciate the VFX they did for this movie because if you go on Instagram, you can find their plates that they used, which a plate is just the pre VFX shot that they use. And like them growing the flowers for the movie is super sick and like all that stuff. Somebody said, what do we think about the interviews? The Wicked interviews?
Dude, I've
holding
seen
space
so
for them for
many
sure.
things on them where it's like, what happened?
Yeah, because they're all skinny now.
And I'm like
they look terrible.
I haven't seen enough to have like an opinion, but something looks weird.
Yeah, something's definitely off. I don't understand like why you would make people diet so hard that they look bad, you know?
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't think they were actually made to do it.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Accidentally took a little too much Ozempic, and
yeah, but why would you take Ozempic if you're that skinny?
dude, Hollywood's crazy.
Hollywood is nuts. Okay, but what do you think about old cinematography versus new cinematography? Because this is kind of the thing that we've gotten into with Marvel movies where everyone hates how Marvel movies look because they're unsaturated because we have so much dynamic range in our cameras right now. Like 17 stops, you need to add some contrast or else your whole image looks super flat.
No, there's something to be said for like the old movies and the way old movies looked. I was just watching like a 2-minute video on this guy explaining like the color science behind old movies versus now.
Right.
And it's like now it's like we're so like saturated and bright versus, and it's not like they just didn't have that technology to do what we're doing today now.
Right.
But at the same time, it just looked so. Maybe it's just like the nostalgia in us.
I think it's just because like we like contrast, and because there's so much dynamic range, they're taking away that contrast, and they need to add it back. Like they need to do a heavy S curve.
Yeah.
Like even though it takes away like the dynamic range, you need to like.
I also feel like even though like, it looks kind of weird, we've like directors or whatever, whoever's in charge of this in the movie making process, they've like stopped doing like. Okay, no, they haven't. Obviously, like some people are gonna be like, "Oh, they've done this person does this," but, like cool like in camera effects. They were like too much on post effects.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I saw a lot of stuff yesterday. There's a new AI engine where you can film 2 shots and then you can put 2 static shots. You can put like transition from this shot to this shot, and it'll do an AI transition for you that looks real. So you can do like those robotic camera movements.
Yes, I know exactly.
You
what
can
you're
do
talking
those
about.
with AI now, and I will say I really appreciate that because it's cool. But it does take away from the art, and that's why I love like people like seeing more who do like these huge like ad shoots, and they do it all in camera just because they can, and they have the budget for it. And even if it takes away from their money, which I'm telling you right now, it does. Anything that you do in camera takes away from your money. The money that you take home, it definitely does. It makes me sad though. It makes me sad to see, just all this stuff.
I have something to kind of transition, but it kind of connects to that.
All right, let's hear it.
So something that's really been bugging me lately has been so we've started doing some ads with some of our like partners and sponsors, but that being said, there's very specific brands that I would work with because I don't want to promote something that I don't actually like.
Right.
And so like we've been like very picky with who we will or won't. Anyways, this one company, like I've seen their ads before. They have not reached out to us for the record, so I can say this. But I've seen so many user generated ads where it's like they show like this cool like effect in camera or in their phone, and then they'll be like, want to learn how to do this? Take this shot and this shot. Then go to this website and upload it here. And it's like it's supposed to be they hook you in and you think it's a tutorial, and then they're like, buy this AI video editor.
That's literally what I was just talking about. Like
It's
the thing that transitions between the shots.
And I'm like, dude, I thought I was gonna like learn how to do this in Premiere After Effects,
which is why YouTube's so important.
Yeah,
like I really do think I spent upwards of an hour today watching a DaVinci tutorial on YouTube just to get my project sequence really started and polished how I wanted it to be, because it's that important to lay the groundwork properly in a brand new editing software.
Yeah, dude, today I was like just experimenting in After Effects because I basically needed to post.
Said everyone who's had the worst day ever.
Literally,
I was experimenting in After Effects.
Well, I needed a way to like portray a video podcast, but we didn't have video, and I was like, how are we going to do this? And what I ended up doing was making a graphic, and then I like made a waveform in After Effects that matched to the voice.
Yes, that's cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I love that
It's
stuff.
like 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Easy 2-minute tutorial on YouTube.
I saw this podcast clip today, and there's like this whole philosophy that I have, which is you shouldn't copy other art forms within the same medium. And right now I'm literally breaking my own rule by talking about a podcast clip on a podcast. But I do think they had a really good point. And that point was, shoot, I just lost it because I was airing it up.
And the great point was,
dang, what was it? I'm actually cooked. I'm mentally fried. My fidget spinner.
It'll come back to you. Like,
it'll come back
right when we're in the
we'll
middle
get
of
back.
something so important.
We'll get after it.
Okay. That being said, that brings up literally the first comment brings up something before I get into it.
I remember it.
What?
Okay, so much, like a massive percentage of YouTube viewage now is on TVs. And people...
That's true. I do.
Yes, but think about how you're watching the YouTube. Are you watching it actively, or are you usually doing something else?
Doing other
Exactly, stuff. Which is why I think people need to move forward into the audio space way more than ever as videographers. Like, I know we're painting all these really cool scenes with AI. We're doing all these LED wall volumes, like all this stuff, all this VFX, but we're lacking in the audio department, and I think the metrics prove that the listening experience these days is way more important than the actual visual experience.
Yeah.
And like Bradley was fighting with me the other day in our group chat talking about how, oh, well, I can watch a movie without listening to it, but I can't listen to a movie without watching it. And for me, those movies that you can listen to without watching are the ones that I like the most.
They're so good.
They're way better because I can turn it on. I can enjoy the storyline.
Especially on a long road trip. Oh.
I used to eat up books on tape. You know why I loved books on tape so much? Or radio shows like Focus on the Family, like Adventures in Odyssey. That was my childhood. Every Saturday morning I'd wake up, listen to Adventures in Odyssey. Those are picture perfect painted stories made with audio only.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
And people have, like, radio is seeing a comeback. Like, there's something to be
Seriously?
said. Yeah, like the ticket, sports radio instead of sports TV.
My fun fact is I only like to listen to Christmas music on the radio, like the real life radio.
That's valid, actually.
Yeah, because I there's something nostalgic about the crackle. There's something nostalgic about the ads, the jingles. I love it. I literally made my parents. We were on a 4-hour drive the other day, and I was like, "Can you turn on Star 102.1, which is my go-to Christmas station?" So yeah, shout out Star 102.1. But there we go. All right, let's get back to where you were.
That being said, this top comment reminded me of something that we were discussing earlier.
Let's hear it.
And it was that so many of you guys did not know who any of the 5 creators that we posted were.
That drove me up a wall. I'm like, how are you guys learning?
Like
where are these people getting their knowledge from?
So, like, they were some of the most educational channels. They made me into the creative I am. I'm sure it made hundreds, if not thousands, of other people the way they are.
And it not only drove me to learn more, but it drove me to, like, create more because I saw the success that they were having and I was like, wait, I want to do this for somebody else because if I was enjoying their videos so much, well, if I want a creative spin on it, like you are a good example of this. Like we each have our own style. And so how much better is it to watch a tutorial from someone who incorporates your own style into their tutorials?
Yeah.
Like you're more like music based, more guitar based, more like, I don't know. Like that's how I would describe
say music, yeah. And my photos are so dark.
Yeah, your photos are dark. My photos very like I have a very corporate-y need in my work. Like I have to be going the corporate direction a lot of times, and it's very important to have those options when you're looking at tutorials and stuff because you want to be able to align like with your creators. And it helps drive your passion more. And the fact that none of you guys knew who like Peter McKinnon and Maddie Hapoya were, like, made me sad.
The guy who made Full-Time Filmmaker.
Yeah,
I was like
guys, what? Like Full-Time Filmmaker, like that name was like godlike back in our day. Like Peter McKinnon, I mean, that's like
if you did like the fact that people were like didn't know who Peter McKinnon was like, literally blowing
like
my
how
mind.
did people not know who Casey Neistat's profile picture?
I forgot Casey Neistat was on
He
there.
was on there.
That's unforgivable.
One of the biggest YouTubers of all time.
That
and
is unforgivable.
Like one of the best filmmakers in terms of, like, bro made people switch to Canon for the 70D, and bro was an advocate for what's it called? Tamron lenses. He used a Tamron like 17 to 40 for like his whole life.
That's valid, yeah.
Because he would just break cameras and then he'd go buy more Tamron lenses.
How much do you think Peter McKinnon made selling his soul to Canon?
Honestly, a lot, but he's always been a Canon guy.
Yeah.
Because he was always on the 1DX, on the 5D, like everything. So you can't blame him.
Yeah. I mean, also Canon is phenomenal.
Canon is great for him too, because he's a photo and video at the same time.
I also just think like his channel would look so different if it was the Sony community versus the Canon community.
It really would.
Like
Sony's just not his vibe.
No,
it's not at all. Because like people who strike me as Sony users are like Unbox Therapy, DSLR Video Shooter. Do you know those guys?
And Maddie.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the difference between Peter and Maddie is a big one.
Polar opposite. You literally. Maddie is orange and teal. Peter is just very much great colors.
It is funny because like we're saying these guys' names like we know them well.
That being said, you know what? Did you ever listen to Peter and Maddie's podcast?
No.
It was so similar to this podcast, and I wish they would bring that back. Actually, don't, because then you would compete with us. But
yeah, please don't, and you'd wipe us out. People are always like, "Oh, I can never find good photography podcasts."
Now that I'm thinking of it, that was one of my favorite. I think there's like 7 episodes. It was literally one of my favorite things. As if like
there was only 7 episodes.
It's literally
most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes.
Literally, and like it was just laid. It's literally exactly like this podcast, like laid back, just talking about whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely added a new dynamic to do the stream, which has been fun. Okay, someone said Is it okay to start off with the right lens as long as you're okay with a bad sensor?
Yes.
Or a crop sensor?
Yeah,
Absolutely, dude.
100%.
Are you kidding me? I actually, so fun fact, I'm using my crop sensor camera now as a webcam. And I'm going to start live streaming pretty
Fortnite.
frequently. Not Fortnite, actually. That's so funny. That did come into play when I was buying or putting my capture card. I put stuff on my Christmas list so my family can enjoy like supporting me and like partaking in my hobbies. In reality, if I don't get something for Christmas, I just take the whole list and go buy it. But that's one of the joys of doing photography for a living is anything you don't get for Christmas, you just buy.
That's
but
my
when
wife
I
was
was
like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "R6 Mark III."
yeah, literally, you're like, UV filters 82 millimeter, please. And one of the things that came into play is like, am I gonna play Fortnite on my Switch and stream it? And I decided against it, but I technically do have compatibility for it,
Like
just without audio.
10 likes on this podcast, and we'll start streaming Clash Royale. So
I have the capabilities for that now too, so we can start a Clash Royale stream. You guys are real. I thought it was AI. Haha. No.
That'd be funny. Hey, yeah. Also, everyone thinks that like we use like AI to cut our reels.
I do not. He
I
hand
hand
makes
cut
those
every single reel.
on his lunch break, guys. This man is toiling.
Like, but also I would like I don't want to say like I would never like depend on AI, but it's like I just feel like I know a better story than AI does.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would
There's
use
something to be said.
I would use AI like clip tools if I had like a really long video that I just didn't want to have to like think about like, oh, is this going to perform well versus like targeting stuff that I like go into our podcast.
Right. Luke also is very anal about his captions and like how it works and
it has to cut exactly.
Also, the way that we cut our podcast, AI can't really do it because it has to be segmented in a way that's unnatural. Like there's not really a natural flow to how we cut the clips. We kind of like he composes it in a way that's very like baity. And so if you go watch the actual episodes, like we don't really say a lot of the stuff like we say it on the reels.
I cut a lot of things out of context and put it before and after to make the engagement.
That way the hook is like heavier or hotter, which works really well because like our social media videos pop off and then the podcast like does well because of that. But then I don't know. I feel like those who come from social media tend to stick around for the podcast
because it's better than social media.
Yeah, they end up realizing, oh, this is actually a good podcast.
The amount of haters that have like been in there that I've like sent them a full pod and they've ended up following us and like sticking
like,
around.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, like
it's pretty fun.
Uncanny.
Also, spam like. We can see you guys liking it up. Also, if you haven't subscribed at this point, please subscribe and follow on the platforms that you're watching. It really helps.
Yeah.
So, like this episode, rate the podcast, and subscribe. All right, let's hit some more hot takes.
If you spent more time watching Peter McKinnon than shooting, that's why your films suck.
Yeah, that's me, bro. I will say there's been such an argument recently for how many people there's just so many people right now saying if you want to make movies, watch movies. And they're like bigwigs in the movie industry.
Because they just want to sell their movies.
Well, that's my question is like, do they just want people to not make movies and just go watch movies all the time?
I do think that if you're going to make a good movie, you have to like, have some like movies you've seen to draw from.
Yes.
What's the saying that's like, there's nothing new is only like, there's nothing new in the horizon. It's just you're pulling from other stuff. It's just
I mean, the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. That's all I can think of.
Not true.
Yeah,
literally. But like, yeah, I think that actually might be what I'm pulling from. But it's like, everything is like a version of something else. Like,
right.
And like with movies, I think we see that. Like you literally look at like High School Musical and Grease. It's the same movie. Like
yeah, and High School Musical is technically a play on Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of all like works together. It's the same with music. Like how most people write every song with 4 chords. It's like, well, duh. I mean, there's only eight notes you can choose from in any given key. So
yeah,
it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I don't know, because every time I watch a video on like a famous photographer, they're not ever watching YouTube. They aren't YouTube watchers. So maybe we need to get off our butts and just go take more photos.
I mean, I would agree with that. Like, yeah, yes, I agree with the statement. You should shoot more than you. No, I don't actually. You should shoot more than you consume. Most people can't.
You can't. It's exhausting. And like, then your work becomes the same for all your life.
I think there's a point where that switch can happen, especially like if and when someone were to become a big quote unquote creator.
Right.
Because then it's like you're literally just like working 20. Like if you're a big creator, you're working 24/7, like filming. Like you have like multiple videos coming out a week. Like that's like you don't have time to go watch YouTube.
Right.
But I think it's a really good thing to go watch YouTube to learn if your goal is to one day get to that point.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've stopped watching YouTube tutorials, honestly, except for specific stuff. Like I stopped watching YouTube tutorials probably 2.5 years ago. Now, or like YouTube videos about photography, and now I only watch specific tutorials.
I don't really watch like an unboxing video or like the newest, unless it's like some piece of gear I'm interested in. But I do watch like targeted, like literally today I targeted how do I make an audio waveform in After Effects.
Right. Like I watched a like multicam clip video in DaVinci.
And those videos are like so poorly made.
Exactly.
But they're so helpful.
Yes. And so I think like all you guys out there who have special skills, like I know you're obsessed with making short form content because it does better, but go on and just make long form videos for people, because we need to keep like the community alive of like people dropping tutorials, because that's like
I think it's dying because all those tutorials are like 5, 6, 10 years old. Right. It's like, dude, can someone make a new one? Like,
yes. So like if you're watching this and you're one of those people who constantly drops reels on, like there's a guy who makes DaVinci videos who's like his whole thing is I didn't know DaVinci could do that. Like make long form stuff, because then you're helping like people who actually really need to dig deep in their craft.
This guy said, did you ever enter the phase of shooting plants in your mom's garden and call it cinematic?
I definitely will say I've shot a Whataburger burrito one time thinking it was a good photo.
I feel like, everyone gets their 50mm lens, points it at a flower, gets that creamy background. And like, chef's kiss.
And I still fall for that these days on wedding shoots. Like I shoot like pretty much a 50mm all the way wide open picture of every single flower at a wedding, because people like those and it works. So.
Dude, I shot a wedding this past Sunday.
I do compose them though. I'm not just like
I shot a wedding this past Sunday, and I think it's the best flat lace I've ever done.
Really?
So I literally, the macro lenses, the attachments I got, I used that for the ring shot.
On what lens?
My 24-70.
Nice.
Unbelievable. It was like one of the prettiest like bokehs, like in focus of the diamond.
I need to add those to my Christmas list because they're so cheap. Yeah.
I would pitch them to y'all, but I forgot what they are. So
yeah, they're Well,
I'm gonna reach out to them and ask them to sponsor us.
I didn't forget what they were. Do you want me to plug it?
No,
okay. We'll wait for the sponsor.
For the sponsorship.
Me and the boys after getting one sponsor.
Okay, here's a good one. Premiere is 100% guaranteed to crash if you don't hit save.
I've never had Premiere crash.
Dude,
I've had my computer crash because I have like this docking station that's going bad, but I've never had Premiere crash.
I cannot tell you the amount of times the Premiere crashed for me because I was on like a not great computer. Yeah. And you would think I would learn like, I got to make sure I'm saving my stuff. Never crossed my mind until like I
spam Command S like every 5 seconds.
Now I've gotten in that habit, but it took me years to do that.
One thing I really like about DaVinci is the longer you go without saving, it takes the little thing that says edited and it turns it red, so you know like, oh, it's been a while since I saved. I should save it. Yeah. That's a fun thing about DaVinci. Common DaVinci clays.
Yeah, I mean, just a behind the scenes moment for you guys. I think I'm gonna get stuck editing reels forever. Like I'm gonna upgrade my laptop pretty soon.
Oh my gosh, dude, we actually have to talk about this.
What?
Macs, like you're upgrading your Mac in 2025 is actually worth it. We finally hit the time where upgrading from an M1 to like an M4 or an M5 is worth it.
I use an M5 now. It's phenomenal.
I had to go back to my M1 because I have so many active projects on my M4, or I think it's either an M4 Pro or an M3 Max or something. But I have an Apple Pro laptop and goated. Like, if you're creative, get an Apple laptop. And, like, I know gamers, like, use Windows and stuff. Just, like, if you're making enough money off of photography, it's worth getting a MacBook. My laptop struggled. It couldn't do it. It couldn't handle it. And it caused like serious issues in my workflow, and that was an M1 2020 with 16 gigs of RAM. And finally, like after shooting on that, I'm realizing like, okay, now like in 2025, where a lot of people are shooting 6K, where a lot of people are moving up, like in how they're shooting, in the codecs that they're shooting, it is time to upgrade your laptop if you're on an M1.
I will say I went from, this is like a 2019 MacBook Pro, and now I'm editing on a M5 MacBook
he's on
Pro.
Intel.
Yeah.
So he's on an Intel
slow.
i9, which is insanely slow.
That being said, but the reason I brought this up is I think even though I use an M5 chip laptop now, for all of our reels, I'm stuck using this.
Why?
Because our font looks different on the new Mac.
It looks different on like Intel versus.
I don't know if that's what it is, but it looks like terrible on the new Mac. And
That's
like I'm
so
not doing
weird.
anything. It's the exact same like font, whatever the thing is called.
Is it an upgrade of Premiere? Like which Premiere year are you running?
I'm
'Cause
sure
they
it's
just
not
dropped a
fully
new-
updated here.
They dropped
but
a new update.
my deal is like I will just lock this and never change it.
Dang, because I would give you my old laptop if you didn't treat your laptop so badly. Like if you look at Luke's laptop, it has like dents.
Guys, this
like-
thing has been dropped. It's been spilled Izzy's on it. My keys stick.
His keys stick. Like I can't type on this man's keyboard because his keys stick. It's so bad. Someone said, "What's your opinion on APS-C for professional work?"
If
Listen,
it's
man,
all you have. It's all
I
you have.
used an APS-C camera for 2 or 3 years for professional work. I think I did book more clients than I'm booking now with that APS-C camera. Like my speed of booking was faster than it is now. Now I will
Not
say
because of the camera though.
it wasn't because of the camera. It was because of the grind.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Now like
But now you just book higher.
now
you
I
don't
just
have
book
to do as
higher
much.
paying
Yeah.
clients. Which would I go back to that APS-C grind?
No.
I mean the money was good.
Yeah.
I made more money with my APS-C camera than I did with my full frame.
But that's not true for most people. I did not. I've made way more money off my full frame than my APS ever could have dreamed of.
Maybe I got lucky. Like per year, I made more with my APS-C camera.
I feel like you were just like, you think you made more than this year? This year has to be your highest grossing year.
I guess so.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
That's well, but like a lot of that is self-induced.
Yeah.
Like off of clients, I made more with my APS-C
Okay.
than like random client work. I made more. Now I make less money with my camera. I make more money with my computer now.
That's valid.
So it kind of depends. But yeah, upgrade your laptop. Like I've been saying for years the M1 cuts it. We finally hit a mark where the M1 doesn't cut it anymore. With all these new codecs coming out, it's been difficult. Also, I think I'm going to switch to 6K ProRes RAW for everything. And so you best believe your boy's buying a home server.
Come on.
So it's going to be devious.
Not every shot needs to be at 120 frames per second.
Not at all. Not at all.
I think it's overdone today.
Oh my gosh. I think even 60's overdone.
I just think everyone wants to slow down everything on social media.
It's a little tiring. And I will say for run and gun shooting, it is super nice. But with the amount of IBIS I have in my RF lenses and the R6 Mark II, you don't even need to slow it down for it to look good. Like I was shooting on Sunday and I was doing full on camera moves and it looked like a gimbal.
Dude, this is so good.
Let's hear it.
Someone said, if you mess up your aperture, you're okay. If you mess up your ISO, you can save it. If you mess up your shutter speed, not even God can save
Yeah,
that.
you actually can't. One time I had someone email me. I sent my stuff off to an editor, and he was like, there appears to be some shutter mismatch. And I think I was out with my family that day, and I pretty much crap my pants because this was like a huge video. Like, it's big. If I have an editor, it's a big video because I edit like everything myself because I don't want to give up the money. And I like went home early and like looked, and there was no shutter mismatch. It must have been something on their end. But the way that I peed my pants, because the amount of times that I accidentally bump like my shutter speed down one other thing that bothers me on the R6 Mark II is if you bump your ISO while you're recording, it doesn't change. You have to do it twice, which drives me up a wall.
That's weird.
I change my ISO a lot while filming, and I film really fast because I do run and gun stuff all the time. And you have to like hit it twice because I think it has like a wake mode.
This is a good question. Someone said, is masking in Lightroom necessary? I would say I've started doing it a lot more.
Okay, what you are really good with curves. Why curves on color?
For me, so curves are basically, I mean, you mean on your standard S curve, if you will. So I'm gonna butcher where exactly it is, but like
It's a curves menu.
Yeah. So you have like your like light. Basically, it's just how light works. So it's like your shadows. I'm gonna butcher how it actually works.
It's highlights, midtone, shadows. That's it.
Yes.
Like this.
And so like your
Here.
blacks tend to be like towards the bottom.
All
So
the way
I
down.
usually
Yeah.
carve mine up, and then you mess with it. For me, I just think it makes the colors look like I always try to keep.
Wait,
some
so you're
form of an
only
S.
doing the white curve line. You don't do the color curve line.
It depends on the shoot, but no. Usually, for my generic preset, it only uses the white.
Oh,
curve.
okay. Well, I use all four. I thought you were some wizard with the color curves for some
I mean,
reason.
I definitely depends. I would say it definitely depends on the shoot. So like, I have a Polaroid preset, if you will call it,
Yeah.
that is like so detailed with all four curves.
Right.
But it's like my generic, I can explain like my generic like concert photo. I basically cut my blacks out of the bottom, cut some of the whites off the top, and then I have like a tiny S in the middle.
Okay, yeah. I always cut my blacks a little bit because it makes it look more like film, and I just like that. I like a more like
Same.
Yeah. Anyways, let's keep it going. I want to answer some more questions. You guys have been slow with the questions tonight.
Honestly, it's because we're filming early.
So
These are usually
we're so
10 p.m.
early.
bots.
10 p.m. bots.
Pods.
Oh, I thought you were calling our listeners bots.
If your tripod costs $20, it will betray you like a $20 tripod.
I'm finally upgrading to a metal tripod.
That's good.
I've been on plastic for like my whole life, and I'm finally upgrading to a nice metal small rig tripod.
I lost my second ever camera, an SL3, to a faulty tripod.
I'm missing a bunch of gear right now too. I don't know where it went.
What is it?
Like a tripod, some Arca Swiss plates, just like random
I
stuff.
think it's just like in a bag somewhere.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm missing right now? That's actually worrying me.
My wife.
My iPad. I have not seen
What?
it in over a month, and it's like I just haven't had a need for it.
Did you leave it here?
I don't know. I've looked.
You should check in my
I haven't
couch.
deep searched my studio, but like I got to the point yesterday where I was like, it's been a second
Do you
since
think
I've
the
seen
people who did the mold stole it?
that. Surely not.
Nah. Is your mold fixed?
Yeah, they
Okay.
ripped my whole wall out.
You should check here. We should check in my couch because my couch tends to eat people. Why do you think we're trying so hard to emulate film? Why not embrace the digital look? Because the digital look is computery and it lacks nostalgia and it lacks emotion. And
I do think this is not even a photography thing. This is just like a societal thing. Like, I feel like in 2025 we value nostalgia like more than any other generation has.
yeah,
Like we all like. I feel like Gen Z. What are we on now?
Gen
X?
Gen Alpha is
Gen
the
Alpha?
is the generation under
Like
us.
everyone, Gen Alpha and Gen Z is like just all chasing nostalgia, which I don't think we saw that from like millennials as much. I think millennials
I
are doing
don't
it
know.
now, but like when
Millennials are very
millennials were
into
our
it.
age, I don't think they were.
Oh,
as
they're
much.
all about the future
Yeah.
and what's new. I think so many people are anxious and depressed now that they're trying to get back to a simpler time. And really, the reality of all of it is, you don't need nostalgia. You
Don't
need
you
to
think
get
that's
off
what
that.
it
You
is?
need to get off that phone.
People like get so much anxiety from being on social media, but then like they find like so that's why they're trying to turn social media into like nostalgia kind of.
Right. Right, because it helps you cope with like everything. Someone said someone said it earlier. When they get banding, okay, shooting a show, different hertz, rates, stage lighting, banding happens. How do you avoid fix? So the best way to avoid, I'm gonna explain this really simply. Hertz aligns with your shutter speed. That's it. So if you are shooting like an LED wall, especially for video, bump your shutter speed down, or bump it up one or down one. So like say you're shooting 23.98 frames per second, you're at 1/50. Bump your shutter speed down to 40 or up to 60, and it will remove the banding, or put it at a different hertz rate, and the banding will like look better. You know, like there's not really always a way to get rid of it, but a lot of times. Also, if you're using electronic shutter, specifically with sports, a lot of people run into banding.
Dude.
Just avoid electronic shutter at all
Guys,
costs.
I've had an R6 for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I used electronic shutter for the first time last week.
I used it one time for a soccer game. It ruined all my photos.
I used
Never
it last
again.
week because we were filming a podcast, and it was like so quiet in there that I was like, I can't even have my shutter go off right now.
Yeah.
I took my boots off, I put it in electric shutter, and I was a ninja.
What? Whose podcast?
A Mission 1-8 for First Dallas.
Oh, there you go. Someone asked a good question, but I gotta find it. Someone said, "Are you streaming on YouTube?" Not yet. We will soon. What does a black mist filter do? So a black mist filter helps. All these things we're talking about in camera stuff. Why it's important. Why it's better. I mean, honestly,
I'm not one to sell people gear at all, but a black mist filter is so worth it.
Yeah, black mist filter's worth it. You can get away with Tiffin. It's totally fine. Prime FX has one. Prime VFX, whatever they're called. Yeah, I would say doing it in camera is going to give you a better, less saturated effect, because when you do things in editing, there's much more of a disconnect with like the win versus the loss. So when you do things in camera, yeah, you're sacrificing a tiny bit of the clarity, but you're gaining that look that you want. When you do things in editing, you're turning up noise, you're messing with your colors, you're messing with your bit rate, you're messing with your dynamic range, all this stuff. And so doing it in camera helps. And black mist filter, basically it blooms everything a little bit, which like if you shoot at a light, so say you're shooting a concert and there's lights in the back, it'll kind of mist it up and make them bloom a little bit. And also, I don't really know, like, I don't know. That's not a great explanation, but just go look up why you should get a black mist filter.
Basically, my 2 reasons for wanting it makes like bright lights in the back look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And makes skin look really good.
Yes. Same with glimmer glass. Like black pro mist and glimmer glass are kind of similar.
Very similar.
What do you guys shoot on as in cameras, and why do you like it? I shoot on the R6 line. 1, 2. I will be shooting 3 soon. I would swap between 3 any day of the week.
Yeah, I currently shoot on R6 Mark 1 and R5, but I'm going to switch to all R6 Mark 3 as soon as I can.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Get something reliable, get something that makes you want to shoot more, and it doesn't matter what you shoot on. There's this guy right now who is making this movie called Magellan. I'm pretty sure he's done. It's about the sailor Magellan. He shot it on a GH7, which is a micro four thirds camera. And I'm telling you, bro got some juicy shots with that thing. Like, that is like a $1,800 camera. And it's micro four thirds. So basically, what we would say back in the day, trash. And his movie looks fire.
Yeah.
So you can't blame your camera. Like, if you're constantly blaming your camera, a good way to do it is go shoot something that amplifies the look of your camera until you can avoid, like, or afford to buy a better camera.
Yeah. Okay, we have to get some hot takes in.
Okay, let's roll.
You don't need a drone. You want a drone.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
Keep telling my wife I need a drone.
Drones are so much fun, but for the majority of videographers, you do not need a drone.
Yeah. There's only a few use cases for a drone, and that is real estate, weddings. Wedding drone photography, underrated.
Dude, I had a client reach
So
out
underrated.
to me the other day, and they said, "Hey, do you do drone photography?" And I was like, "Not my drone."
Yeah, your drone. Dude, one time I trusted Luke to do a drone group photo, and we couldn't even use the group photo because it was so bad.
bro. Never use the DJI FPV.
It genuinely has 2 stops of dynamic range.
I think the Avadas are better, but the original FPV is buns.
It's so bad. The camera is actually probably smaller than like a. It's like the head of a battery.
That being said, it is so fun to fly. It can go 87 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's
One time we were trying to film a podcast, and Luke flew his drone for like 2 hours instead of sitting down and filming the podcast.
It's like, I mean, yeah, I have never taken it out of the country, but I took it to like the mountains in Colorado, and like flying that thing in full manual when you can just like hit a mountain and steep flying down. It's just like there's nothing like it. You feel like you're there.
Do you want to get into how do people crash drones so much? I don't understand, because I've never crashed a drone, and I've flown like probably 40 drones in my life.
Okay, so it depends. If you're flying FPV and you're flying in manual,
right,
that is the easiest thing in the world to crash.
Right.
Like I'm talking like I've put in probably 200 hours in a simulator, and I'm still like I could crash.
But like
a
full
full auto drone, I'm not gonna lie, there's no excuse.
And so many people crash them.
And like a full auto drone, if you ever drove like a remote RC car when you were 5, you can fly a normal drone.
That's what I'm saying. And so many people like crash everything. Do you think Sony will have Open Gate on the next cinema line
They have
release?
to.
Yeah, they will.
Canon and Nikon didn't give them an option.
So here's my thing about Open Gate. I think people love it too much. Everyone talks about how you can shoot horizontal and vertical at the same time. That doesn't mean you should. That really doesn't mean you should. For me, the reason I want Open Gate is because I shoot on anamorphic lenses a lot, and it allows for less of a crop factor technically, because the 1.6 crop will just the frame will be less skinny. It'll be more chunkier, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, no one's dropped a camera, or Canon hasn't dropped a camera that does 4K Open Gate in 60. So that's why I'm not that interested in the R6 Mark III now, and also the overheating worries. So instead, I'll be putting my money towards a very nice external recorder and shooting 6K ProRes RAW. That's my take.
There is such a thing as too much special effects.
100%. No question, dude.
I mean, yeah, I would say if you're just specifically on social media, I don't think there is, because you just want to go like as fast and as like engaging as possible.
Right.
I mean, like, look at what Mr. Beast is doing, bro. Like, I think they've like perfected the algorithm on like attention.
Right.
Like, I'm sure they have like social scientists that are like, this is what we need.
And they've also destroyed the minds of every 9-year-old in the world.
I honestly do think that's true, and I wonder sometimes, like, will we look back at Mr. Beast's content and be like, you ruined a generation?
The next very predictable trend will be full frame anamorphic because all the open gate coming out. 100% vertical.
That kind of was already here before that, and I think this will encourage it.
Vertical anamorphic has been a thing, but the big thing is
Wait, who did that first?
You?
Vertical anamorphic? I mean, we crop vertical from anamorphic is what I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
now I see what you're saying.
Vertical anamorphic. So there's two different types of vertical anamorphic. There's one where you just flip your camera. Then there's one where you flip your camera and flip your lens back to the way it was. So you can only do that with PL mount lenses, which is why all the big dogs can do it, or anyone who is able to rent a lot of lenses easily. But that's one of the sad things is I bought RF mount instead of PL because I wanted to natively mount them to my camera, which, makes sense. But now looking back, I wish that I had bought a PL mount because you can mount it. You can basically shoot your camera vertically and mount the lens normally, horizontally. So then you get a 4:5 aspect ratio, which is perfect for social media, and it gives you a unique look. All right,
yeah.
I will let you run hot takes for the next like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Let's hear them.
Better gear doesn't mean better content.
That's true.
100% true.
Of course, I've seen people make better videos. Casey Neistat has made better videos with a Insta360 X3 than a lot of people have with Alexas.
I will say, I've started using my X4. I wore it all day at the wedding. I wore it all the engagement shoot. The Insta360 line of cameras in the editing software is incredible.
It's unparalleled.
Especially for social media.
What Insta360 is doing is, like, as a company, is just beyond... It defeats everyone.
Yeah. Like, the AI that goes in the software, like, it's actually so basically I shot a engagement a couple weeks ago. I wore the Insta360. I didn't wear it, actually. I put it on my camera. And basically in that shoot, the couple was walking down this like super crowded area at the Dallas Arboretum. And so I had like hold up a bunch of traffic at the thing.
Mm-hmm.
At this top of
at the thing.
The top of where the people walk down. And I literally like shot it or whatever. And so I talked with like 5 different people that would come up and talk with me. And then I throw it all into like just
their
Insta360.
the editor.
It automatically, when I'm talking, comes to me. When they're talking, cuts to them. When as soon as he gets down on one knee, pans to him. Like, it was the easiest, most amazing experience I've ever had.
You're selling me on the Insta360.
So
I will
good.
get the X5, bro.
I wish I had the X5, but the X4 from bright daylight is perfect.
Well, the only thing for that is with the X5, the only reason I'd really get it instead of the X4 is the interchangeable lenses.
And the low light is so much better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, your first short film is going to be bad. There is no exception.
I've been putting it off for so long, trying to avoid making a short film because I know it will be bad.
It's so hard to do your first one because you know it's going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that, like, Citizen Kane was made when that dude was, like, 22, stuff like that just makes me sad.
It's a rough one.
Yeah. Like, there's a 17-year-old right now who he made, like, what's it called? He made the Backroom series on YouTube, and he's fully greenlit with Sean Levy as his producer. Sean Levy produced, like, Stranger Things, like, all this stuff. Big producer, lots of money.
Stranger Things comes out this week. Oh, my gosh.
Dude, I need to catch up.
I'm going to literally binge all 4 the night it comes out.
I've been watching this show called Pluribus on Apple TV.
I've heard it's amazing. Don't spoil it at all.
It's really good. If you're a fan of, like, Three Body Problem, like the books or the Netflix series, you will like it. It does take a while to... It doesn't... It's very conceptual.
I haven't seen any Apple TV shows, and I've heard that they're so good.
Have you not seen Severance?
No, which don't spoil that either. I've lived my whole life and no spoilers.
Here's the thing, Severance.
I don't even know the plot. I just know it's like work and sleep, and that's all I know.
Severance is so good. There's no way I could spoil it because so much happens in the show that it's unavoidable. Season 3 comes out pretty soon. I am pretty sad that Ben Stiller is kind of taking a backseat on this one.
I didn't even know Ben Stiller was in it.
He directs it.
Oh.
He directed season 1 and 2.
Okay, so
most of the episodes.
Here's the deal. The reason I haven't watched it is because I've been paying for like the Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle, which is like $30 a month. You get all 3, no ads.
That's expensive.
Yeah, but for me, like my subscriptions, it's worth it. So, like, I don't know. With Skylar and I, we're like, that's the one thing that we're willing to do on. It's like
we buy DVDs. We're nerds.
But I just found out that I get like free Apple TV because I have T-Mobile. So
I got a deal. I bought something. Oh, I bought movie tickets for the new Knives Out movie. I'm seeing it on Wednesday in theaters. They're doing like a limited screening of it, and I got tickets for 9:45 a.m. on Wednesday, which is that's my ideal time to go see a movie. 9:45
Yeah.
a.m. You're primed off your coffee. You just had breakfast, popcorn for breakfast if you want, and you have the rest of your day ahead of you to enjoy the fruits of that movie. But yeah. So I got free Apple TV for 30 days, and I've been waiting to buy it because I was gonna wait until Severance season 3 comes out because I am very frugal. Like, I do not spend money on subscriptions at all. I try and keep my cost of living as low as humanly possible so I can buy more gear. That's it. And it works. So now I have Apple TV, and I'm going to binge Pluribus. New episode this Wednesday, so I'm excited. It's pretty nuts.
Never think that warp stabilizer will fix anything.
Dude, warp stabilizer is one of those things where you may think you know how to do it. You don't. You don't. There's so many different modes on it. And you need to craft that thing individually for every single scene.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people,
I think you almost need to go frame by frame.
A lot of people use it, and they use it, and they're like, "Oh, this looks good enough." No, I'm telling you,
it doesn't.
You can make it look better using warp stabilizer. I never use it because it's so unnatural, and I don't want my mom thinking I used AI to edit my videos.
If your camera bag weighs more than 20 pounds, you're packing out of fear, not with a plan.
Do you want to know how much my camera bag weighed on my last trip?
I know. How much?
Do you want to take a guess? I'll say higher or lower.
30?
75. And I climbed a mountain.
That's awful.
It was terrible. And everyone around me
Did you use every piece of gear you brought?
Yeah. Every single one. Every cable.
Every day?
Yeah. Because I brought my anamorphics. They weigh so much.
That's ridiculous. That's insane.
And, the worst camera bag I've ever had was, you have no idea how much 2 MacBooks weighs. It's so heavy. Never, ever, ever. If you can avoid taking your laptop somewhere, that is why your camera bag's heavy.
We kind of talked about OpenGate already. So if you watch this pod tomorrow when it drops.
Yeah. This pod will come out at 6 a.m. So just go watch it when you wake up. I like this one. You can't copy Peter McKinnon forever.
And replace Peter McKinnon with anyone.
But you can. You can copy Peter McKinnon forever.
Here's
he's evolving.
Here's my question. Is he? Because, I mind you, it's been a second since I've checked in with him. Mind you, he's the GOAT. I would never say anything negative about Peter McKinnon.
His camera bag is the best camera bag of all time.
Yes. But I'm curious to see what his, shorts and, how he transitioned to TikTok and Reels. Because I feel like I've never seen a Peter McKinnon viral TikTok or Reel.
I want to know his motivation.
And maybe that's why our audience is like, who's that?
Yeah. That's fair. I want to know his motivation for doing things now. Where does his passion come from? Because he always he's always making these everyday carry videos, and you can only make so many of those.
Dude, I'm sorry. I feel like his 3 out of his past videos have been just go create, and I'm like, dude, it's the same thing every video.
Yeah.
Stop making excuses.
Think about our podcast. Same thing every time.
No, but we have interesting topics.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Even my photo bag's going to be over 20 pounds. If you're not over that for video, what are you shooting? Okay, here's the thing, though. Nowadays, they're dropping so many lenses that you can get away with. You can get away with a pretty small kit these days.
No, but I don't know. It depends on what kind of video you're doing, but and what kind of what you want your stuff to look like. Because I went to a wedding the other day, and the videographer had 5 lights, which includes 5 light stands.
Yeah.
And it's dude, I was like, dude, I think you're doing too much. I mean, depending on what if that's his style, obviously go for it.
Right.
It's just not my style, so I'm not trying to hate on that. But
and sometimes here's the thing. I don't think you get this yet because you haven't ascended to that level. For some people, once they achieve that lighting look, anything else disgusts them.
Yeah.
So maybe he's too enraged by not having that lighting that he needs it everywhere, and it consumes him.
My only thing is I'm like, dude, and this is just my bone to pick with the wedding industry in general. Not every wedding needs to look like a movie. I'm sorry. And I know we love it, but respectively, take that $7,000 you're going to spend on that videographer and spend half of that and go on a nice trip,
Yeah, I will say.
And I'm a videographer.
What do you think about content creators for weddings?
I think that's overdone too.
Personally, looking back at it,
I've seen people walking around with their phone it's a professional person and just film iPhone videos. I'm like, dude. And I know people don't like having their family on their phones during the ceremony.
Right.
But is that the end of the world?
This is the dumbest take I've ever heard. Someone just commented, photography is basically just taking pictures. No, photography is not just taking. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Could you imagine we just rage bait? Like, oh my gosh.
Um,
Cinematic black bars are not a personality. I will say, if we had the option to not have black bars on this podcast, we would. But YouTube doesn't. I guess if you watch it in theater mode, it won't have black bars.
Yeah.
Or not in full screen.
The only reason you shouldn't shoot in log is if you don't know how to edit log.
Yeah.
That's
The facts.
great take.
I mean, there is an argument to be made for storage, but even then, just shoot in 1080 instead of 4K.
Yeah, I saw a
And still
guy
shoot
the other
log.
day, and he was saying if you're only shooting for social media, don't shoot log.
No.
And I was like, even then, dude, I respectfully and he's like, because it saves you time on your workflow. And I'm like, does it?
It's also like you have to make such this argument of like my workflow's not optimized. Are you really making that much content that your workflow has to be that great?
Yeah.
You know, like
Respectfully, if I'm seeing that video that you just made on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you're not like a editor. You know, like an editor that would be like, that's like fully employed, just like go edit, and your workflow has to be completely like you have time to do whatever you want to do.
right. Like I'm such a proponent of workflow, especially when it comes to like my camera selection and my gear selection. But that's a one-time purchase that I'm just like, oh, this will be optimal. I research for like 4 hours. I make my purchase and I'm done. And there's my workflow. Like that, it's pretty basic. Like when it comes to storage and everything, just do the same thing every time and your workflow will get faster.
This guy said editing at 3 a.m. means that you're bad at your job. No, sometimes the best edits come at 3 a.m. Okay.
I would not agree with that. Is someone who actually schedules when they're going to edit and sticks to it.
Nah. There's something to be said that it's just like you just as soon as you feel like you're in the mood. I feel like a lot of creative functions that way. It's like you just have to feel it and then you do it. I don't care if I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm gonna do it.
See, like I don't know, man. I've never shot something that's high enough stakes creatively to have to be like, oh my gosh, I need to wake up right now and edit this. Now I've spent I'm more of a spend long hours editing something than a be awake for an hour editing something really well.
See, I'm more of like I don't get in the mood. When I'm in the mood, I need to take advantage of it. If that makes sense.
That's fair. I sit down. I kind of operate as a writer does, where you write for
Don't
like
leave the room until it's done.
Well, yeah, you write for like a whole hour before you can even really start getting to where you want. Like I spent like 4 hours in DaVinci today before I really got to where I needed to be to really just grind stuff out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's why I spend so many hours editing.
Camera shake is not realism. It's camera shake.
Dude, I don't know, because there's something about those dolly shots that had camera shake back in the day when they're shooting on film that I
will
like.
say there's also something about someone else filming a video of you instead of it being on a tripod that makes me want to watch it more because someone else is filming it.
Finally, someone's saying this. Finally, someone's saying it. This is why I shoot every single one of my reels handheld for social media. Even if it's like a 2-shot where it's more difficult to film handheld, I shoot every single video handheld because it shows the intention of having a videographer instead of just locking stuff off on a tripod and calling it done.
And that's why the intern's been holding this camera for the podcast the whole time.
Yeah, we actually have this small child, this 12-year-old boy. We pay pennies a year, and he holds our camera the entire time. I'm just kidding. No, but I do actually really like think about it. Like, there is a place for locked off shots, but in vlogging, how much more interesting is it?
Yeah, 100%.
To have someone with a camera than it is now. Casey Neistat makes the argument that 9 out of 10 shots need to be locked off even in vlogs, and I think he does that really well.
I feel like that's valid. Well, I'm talking about like just like a reel or like just like something that I just saw on the internet. Like,
yeah, if the camera has a little movement, knowing someone's back there is nice.
Yeah.
Now, if you're shooting something and you're holding it so still that it looks like it should be on a tripod, then just put it on a tripod.
Y'all want to know what I had to do the other day? There was no tripod for a podcast we were filming, and I shot clips on a 70 to 200 handheld. It was insane. Trying to keep it perfectly steady.
Bro, you didn't have like a random C-stand laying around?
Nothing.
What?
Yeah, because we were like off location.
Don't you guys have an Alexa?
Yeah, but we weren't there though.
Oh, where were you?
We were like off location.
Oh, okay.
So.
That's so funny. I was about to say, I was like, you guys literally have like everything.
It's insane.
Should have a C-stand laying around.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us.
Man, dude. That was a long one.
Come on.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Also, please like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, send us some love.